a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
And welcome to the show. Thanks for spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Your consumer advocate, always helping you win in any marketplace. And powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty. We're selling those condos up in Gainesville, Florida. We got the 90 pre-construction luxury condos, and had a great time this past weekend going up there and doing some networking at the Florida Gator game. So not a great outcome for a lot of the Gators, but it was I think a good outcome for us. We talked to a lot of people, talked about some of our pre-construction luxury condos. So we're going to talk with Millie Athanason here, attorney Millie Athanason on the Consumer Quarterback Show today. We're going to talk about child support, how do you calculate income, also some of her personal injury business, as well as what we're seeing with some motor vehicles in the state as well, uninsured motorists, the importance of having that coverage. Also, we've got George coming on as well, making his debut from the Tarpon Turtle. He's the owner of the Tarpon Turtle, where we're going to be hosting our next gratitude party. So save the date. It's Friday, September 27th, 6 o'clock over at the Tarpon Turtle, Alex. And you want to tee it up for us?
Yeah, Tarpon Turtle, if you've never been there, it's amazing. It's right there on the water. We're going to have a boat. You can literally eat on the water there if you wanted to. They'll have a server come out. They usually have music going on. It's just beautiful. Lake Tarpon itself is something to be seen, huh? I mean, we're living right around there. You can it's just a beautiful view all by itself, and a nice, clean environment. Food is excellent. They usually have pretty good music going, too, so I'm looking forward to it.
That's right. Those crab cakes, those grouper nuggets.
That's the one.
Always good food, man. We're going to have the boat out there as well, giving boat rides. So come on out and join us. You're going to meet some of our radio show partners, some of our real estate team, all types of business owners, great networking. Come on out. Save the date, Friday, September 27th, 6 o'clock, and we hope to see you there at the Tarpon Turtle as well. Also teaching a class coming up on September 11th. Any realtors out there? I know I've got a lot of real estate agents, title, mortgage, insurance folks that listen to the show. September 11th on Wednesday, I'm teaching a class. It's going to be an all-day class over at the Pinellas Realtor Organization right there on Ormerton Road. It's going to be offered as a Zoom or an in-class. So come on out and learn more about how to win with sellers. We'll teach you that. We'd love to share that knowledge. Also, feel-good story of the day. This was a cool one that we pulled up here. After police didn't take it seriously, he exposed an international bike theft ring on his own. So the interesting story there coming up in our feel-good segment on the program. Got a hot listing here on Archer Place. This one is 3101 Old Archer Road in Gainesville, Florida. Great opportunity. Pre-construction pricing for a limited time. So my wife Lindsay and I represent 92 pre-construction luxury condos in Gainesville, Florida. 1 mile from the stadium, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. And it's a great opportunity, getting 10% off of retail on Old Archer Road, Unit 209, and many, many others, of course, in Gainesville, Florida. 90 pre-construction luxury condos available in Gainesville. So check that out on our website, of course. 221 Howard Drive. This is a beautiful listing. Compliments of Aaron Foley on the Platinum MVP team. 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3,500 square foot single family home on Bel Air Beach. This one's an exclusive Bel Air Beach location with one of the highest land elevations in the area. You have gorgeous 3-island kitchen with Thermador appliances, saltwater pool, 1 block to the beach. 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach, $1 million listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Yeah, I'm racing my class to those saving our ass overseas.
All right, attorney Millie Athanason back in studio. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Always great having you, and we appreciate the updates. A lot of times we're talking about legislative session just ended, things of that nature. But today we wanted to talk about child support and how you calculate the income.
Yes, I get asked that a lot because it happens not only when we're dealing in divorce cases, when we're talking about time sharing with the children and then child support, but it happens in paternity actions because nowadays a lot of the younger people aren't getting married and they're having babies together. So even though the dad may have been there and signed the birth certificate, it's still called a paternity action because that's just what we call it in the state of Florida. So in both of those types of cases, we do have to calculate child support. Now, there is a presumption already that there's 50-50 time sharing, but it's a rebuttable presumption in the state of Florida, right? So that means we're going to start out with the assumption that everybody's going to have 50-50, but it could be rebutted and the court can make findings and make a ruling otherwise. So
Okay.
a lot of people are under the misconception that, well, wait a minute, if I have 50-50 time sharing, why should I have to pay child support? Well, unfortunately, it goes by your income level, because one spouse may be making a lot more than the other spouse
Right.
or the other parent. So because of that, even if you have 50-50 time sharing, you can potentially have a situation where the higher earning parent is still going to pay child support to the lower earning parent.
Do they call that custodial still, or did they change that? Wasn't it called custodial at one time?
Yes, yes, you do. It's called, now we call it parental responsibility, and we call it time sharing.
Okay.
So we start out with the notion of shared parental responsibility, which basically means that, you know, both parents are going to take an active role in raising the child and children, and they will coordinate together to make decisions. Whereas before, when you used the term custodial, it used to be that the custodial parent, or the one that had the majority time sharing with the child, was the one that made those judgment calls. That isn't the way it rolls anymore in Florida. So that's why the terminology or vernacular has changed.
Yep.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. And so in answering like what constitutes income in the state of Florida, I mean, obviously if you're a W-2 employee, that's pretty simple, right? We look at your W-2, we look to see if you had bonuses and what your income is. And people will say to me, well, you know, bonuses aren't guaranteed. You know, it's done by the employer on an annual basis or quarterly basis. Well, it doesn't matter if it's something that you regularly receive, whether it's guaranteed or non-guaranteed. The state of Florida says your child or children come first over you. So they're going to include that income as child support. The other big one that there's a lot of fudging on and issues with is business income, where people own their own businesses. And as we know, at least we do in the legal profession, as most business owners not only pay their business expenses through the business, but they're running through their personal expenses through the business as well. So as lawyers, we have to sit and decipher and go through all bank statements and try to figure out which expense was related to the business versus which one was related, you know, like your cable bill or whatever, you know. So that becomes a big deal. And people always try to hide a lot of things. And people still have cash income. It's not as prevalent as it used to be prior to COVID. But it still does exist. And people do still get paid in cash from time to time. And so that becomes reportable as well. It does include things like disability benefits and unemployment compensation benefits and Social Security benefits. And yes, there are people on Social Security that have to pay child support.
Wow.
You know, well, it happens if you're a little bit older in life, and let's say you have a second marriage or a subsequent relationship and you have a child results in that.
Yeah.
Could be a problem or could be an issue. It also includes any type of retirement benefit. So if you're getting a pension or something like that, or you're receiving regular payments through your 401k or whatever, we count that as regular income. And we also include spousal support. So if you're paying spousal support or alimony, most people hate the word alimony, but we call it spousal support. If you're paying it, it gets reduced from the income of the person that's paying support and added on to the income of the person that is receiving the support.
Yeah, I can see that. And I know of I had a family member that paid for years and years and years alimony, and the ex just wouldn't get married out of spite because they had that money coming in. And I remember, you know, just how the problems that created. And I remember on one of the previous shows, didn't we talk about how those have all kind of shifted and changed and were brought a little bit more current?
Yes. They've totally revamped the alimony statute. So things are a lot different now in that world. And we don't have permanent alimony anymore. We now have durational alimony. So that
Got it.
makes, you know.
Yep.
So it also includes, just so you know, income also includes rental income. So if you have properties, or, you know, you're renting a room in your house or something like that, and it's regular income, we include that for purposes of calculating child support.
Yep.
Also, income that's derived from royalty, trusts, or estates, if you're getting income from it, that's going to be included in child support.
Got a deal on Shark Tank. You got a royalty coming from Mr. Wonderful. There you go. That royalty's coming in.
Yes, exactly. And then reimbursed expenses. So if you're at a job and you're getting back, you know, your car expenses and stuff like that, that's also included as part of your income package.
Let me ask you, Millie, are they, if you just joined us, we're talking with attorney Millicent Athanason here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon BRimes, and we're discussing the child support and income calculations, things of that nature, family law, divorce. She also does personal injury law. We're going to talk about uninsured motorists here in a bit. But Millie, when you think about, of course, a lot of the Cash Apps and Venmo and things like that, are you seeing these come into play now too, those types of sources?
Yes. So we do get to look at Venmo and accounts such of that nature, the Cash Apps, in order to get, you know, derive income, because it depends on how the person gets paid for the jobs that they do.
Yeah.
You know, for example, a lot of people, let's say you have a lawn company or something, people are going to pay a lot of times with Venmo or Cash App instead of writing a check.
Yep.
People don't like writing checks anymore. It's becoming kind of an obsolete thing.
Right.
You know, so yes, we do look at those, whether it's Square, Cash App, Venmo, I forget all, Zelle, I think all
There's a bunch of them.
There's a bunch of them out there now. So yes, we do pull the records from those accounts as well. And also those usually show up in the bank accounts, because when the money is transferred into by Zelle, it goes into that person's designated bank account that they're using.
Yep, it's just another routing procedure, basically a different routing that's digital.
Yes.
It'll show up on there. So that'll be something to make sure you're not getting double whammied on, to
right.
make sure it's not showing up twice.
Right, exactly, because we can't count it both on the bank statement and on the Zelle. You know, it's counted one time.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, exactly. All right, let's take a quick break there. We're going to come back and talk more with attorney Millicent Athanason here on the show. And we're going to talk about uninsured motorists, some driving situations to look out for as well, coming up with attorney Millie here on the program. Plus a feel-good story of the day. This one's a good one. It's police didn't take this gentleman seriously, and so he says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and expose an international bike theft ring on his own with all his resources. Feel-good story coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. ConsumerQB.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or ConsumerQB.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here with Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. Our luxury condo community is located only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Our buyers love the high-end luxury amenities in their building, including a state-of-the-art fitness facility equipped with Pelotons, the resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, and the gourmet chef's kitchen in our clubhouse that overlooks the pool. We have pre-construction pricing only for a limited time, with floor plans ranging from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath to 2-floor penthouses with plunge pools. Starting in the low 400,000s to the high 900s, investors, parents sending their young adults off to school, medical professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs alike are investing in these residences. Reach out to us today at 727-263-3707 3707 to get more information.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We're speaking with attorney Millie Athanason here in studio. Coming up, we're going to talk about uninsured motorists and the auto world out there when people are traveling, all the different scenarios to think about with attorney Millie here, law offices of Millicent B. Athanason in studio with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And before we do, I got to let you know about Replenish IV Solutions, longtime friends of the program, and say hello to Steve and Elisa Gunnan, Replenish IV Solutions, right there in South Tampa. They got a Gandy location. They've got a Carrollwood location, Northdale area. And they can also come to your home or office, get juiced up, get that vitamin infusion drip into your bloodstream, and boost your immunity. ReplenishIVSolutions.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, hot listing here, 8533 110th Street, number 305. This one's in Seminole. We have a motivated seller here. Great opportunity, affordable condo here, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and you've got a condo that's in a 55-plus community. Lots of activities going on, like line dancing. You got Zumba, Silver Sneakers program. You're close to the beaches as well, and there's also a free shuttle service for local transportation right there at 8533 110th Street, unit number 305 in Seminole, Florida. Great opportunity to own real estate right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. All right, let's take you up north to Dunellen here at 152nd Place. We got 9205 Southwest 152nd Place in Dunellen. This one is another great opportunity to own real estate. We've got a motivated seller, 4 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2 carport. You have 2,150 square foot single family home. Very unique. And as you go northern in our audience in Tampa Bay, northern Tampa Bay up that way, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck. You're getting more land. It seems to be larger rooms in a lot of cases. Close proximity as well to Rainbow River and historic downtown Dunellen. Check out our listing at 9205 Southwest 152nd Place in Dunellen, Florida. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, attorney Millie Athanason back in studio with us. So, Millie, when you think about, the driving out there, just driving in this community, gosh, you got a lot of people coming into the country now illegally. You got people coming in through different channels. You may run across some uninsured motorists out there.
Yes. As a matter of fact, statistically, there's approximately 23% of people on Florida roads don't have insurance.
Wow. That high, huh?
It is that high.
Almost a quarter of the cars that you see. Wow.
They don't have it. So what happens a lot of times is they'll go ahead in order to get the registration. They'll buy it, it's like on a monthly plan,
right.
Pay for it for 1 month, and then let it lapse. So now they're uninsured for the remainder of the year.
Wow.
So you see this all the time. So what is happening is if you are in an automobile accident, even for the people that do have, so let's say the other 3/4 of the people that have insurance, so you're required to carry property damage coverage and personal injury protection coverage. Property damage is when you cause damage to someone else's property, not person, property. And PIP is when for your own injuries if you're in an accident. So if another person hits you, it's their fault. And even though they have insurance, if they only have the basic required coverages, there's not going to be anything there to cover you for your losses or injuries to your person. So bodily injury liability is the coverage that you need to have if you cause damage to somebody else's person. Okay, well, if you don't possess this coverage and you're the victim, and the other party doesn't possess the coverage and you're the victim, the only way that you're going to be able to make a recovery to redress your injuries is if there's uninsured motorist coverage on your policy. It's called uninsured and underinsured. So UM and UIM coverage if you're looking at an auto policy.
Yeah.
And people don't tell you about how important the coverage is. So when most people now are buying insurance, they go online and they're clicking the little buttons as they go.
Yep. And
they don't understand the importance of UM, and it saves money on your policy. Even agents will say, oh, well, I can, get rid of the UM coverage and that'll save you some money each month.
Right.
So people are thinking, oh, save me money and I still have insurance. Yay.
Right.
And then they don't purchase the coverage. So it's serious out there.
Yeah.
And accidents are not just minor fender benders anymore. Every day you go on the news and you're seeing some terrible accident on I-75, I-4, I-275. US 19 is one of the most fatal roads in the entire state of Florida.
I've heard that. Let me ask you a question because it popped in my mind. So if I'm the victim and they don't have underinsured motorists, or I don't have underinsured or insured motorists, uninsured, does that open up a potential for a lawsuit to sue that person personally, or in a lot of times they don't have any assets anyway?
That's the thing,
right.
Is that when you come to see me and the other side doesn't have any insurance, yes, we'll run an assets check on them to make sure to see if they're viable. But understand that Florida's a homestead state.
Yeah.
So if you get a judgment, you can't even force a sale of the homestead, right?
Primary residence, yeah.
Yeah. So in that case, insurance becomes really important.
Yeah.
People don't realize it, because sometimes you can get a judgment. Sure, you could sue people, but your judgment is going to turn out to be like a piece of toilet tissue.
Yeah. It's the traditional, hey, you're throwing good money at bad money, right? You're wasting good money to go after money that you're not going to get, in a sense. So that's what you see when you come up. So we're talking with attorney Millie Athanason here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Just a couple minutes left, Millie. Final thought, what other common questions do you get with your law practice, law offices, Millicent B. Athanason?
So when it comes to uninsured motorist coverage, people always they ask me what it means. They don't even understand it. That is the biggest question that I get. They may have heard the term, but they don't know really what it means. Yeah. And under the law, your insurance carrier is required to offer you uninsured motorist coverage in the same limits and amounts as they offer you bodily injury coverage on. And if they don't, then there's an issue. And if they do offer it and you waive it, you have to sign what's called a UM rejection form if you're waiving UM, or a UM selection form if you're selecting uninsured motorists at lower limits than your bodily injury coverage. Right. So be careful when you are going to purchase auto insurance. And I always tell people, don't just use this as a resource for coming in for legal cases. Right. See us before before the accident.
Yeah, absolutely. And worked with, by the way, Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance. He's our go-to for the Consumer Quarterback Show. Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance. Attorney Millie Athanason. You can check her out online, athanasonlaw.com. And 833-ASK-MILLIE.
Yes.
Still the number, 833-ASK-MILLIE. I love that. It rings and it sticks in my head pretty well. 833-ASK-MILLIE. Give her a call. Personal injury law, accidents, and, of course, family law we talked about today. Divorce and family law as well. Millie, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, taking a quick break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about the Tarpon Turtle. We've got the owner in studio with us, George, and we're going to be talking about our Friday, September 27th gratitude party over at the Tarpon Turtle. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, online at consumerqb.com, helping you win as a consumer advocate. Over 80 different categories of consumer advocacy here with our talk show on air 11 years now. And the strategy I sometimes say when I'm relating to someone new about the show is like, hey, look, what we're doing is we're helping consumers save time and money when it comes to different buying decisions, real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, over 80 80 different categories of consumer advocacy with the talk show. And we sometimes use the metaphor of being that consumer advocate, being the hub of your financial wheel, your real estate wheel, all of those spokes extending out from the center of home ownership or investing or credit, finance, self-defense. So many different ways we help you on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So save our hotline number, 727-263-3707. That's an off-air number. You can call or text that hotline at 727-263-3707. And follow us online at CQB Show, at Brandon Rimes 1. And we greatly appreciate you subscribing on the channels as well, YouTube and Rumble channels. We've got George going to be joining us from the Tarpon Turtle, and I'm going to take a stab at it. It's Katakalidis.
Yes.
Kalidis. I knew it right after I said it. Kalidis.
Got
So we got the Tarpon Turtle event coming up, Alex. Now, we always talk about these events. What we do is we roll a monthly gratitude party over. And this is kind of a great, quick little sales tip for anybody out there that has a database, people you've been doing business with year after year after year, right? Do a monthly party, do a quarterly party, have a reason to reach out to your database, right, Alex? I mean, it's a strategy that we employ, and we have a lot of fun with it too.
Yeah, I mean, I do the same thing with all my training clients and stuff. We have the anniversary of when I opened up the gym and the training business, and then also every year, everybody that's trained with me throughout the year, even if it was only for like 1 month, hopefully they stayed longer. We do something at the end of the year for everybody.
Right.
But yeah, with the Consumer Quarterback Show, Tarpon Turtle, man, I'm looking forward to those crab cakes coming up. So we'll talk to George about that, see what the secret is with that.
Got the crab cakes, got the grouper nuggets. Such a great menu over there, George.
Thank you. It's first of all, it's a pleasure being here, Brandon.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, you talk about having those either quarterly or annual or even monthly parties, and it's such a great way to give back and to connect. And literally, that's what a restaurant's all about too, is to get people to get together and connect. And that's what the Tarpon Turtle is. I mean, we have this incredible waterfront grill. We've got a great menu. We've changed over the menu. We've got some great people. And we've also kind of set it up for special occasions, for events, for people to be entertained, if you will. Yeah. Because nowadays, it's not just about the food anymore. It's about the experience.
Yeah, the ambiance, the ability to dock and bring up. I've driven up there on the jet ski before.
Yeah.
And we're going to have boats there. So you're invited, all of our audience, by the way. So this is Friday, September 27th, 6 o'clock. And again, that's one of the unique things we do as well. Alex, we're inviting all of our listeners, our followers, social media, business owners, all types of great people. Friday, September 27th, 6 o'clock. Come on out. We're going to be over at the Tarpon Turtle, tarponturtle.com for more information. But it's at 1513 Lake Tarpon Avenue right there in Tarpon Springs. Great location, just north of Palm Harbor there. Great location. We're going to have a lot of fun. That's our monthly gratitude party, Friday, September 27th. Save the date. Yeah, we're going to talk with George here more in just a minute. But before we do, we got to pitch a couple of our real estate listings. That's part of our strategy also with our real estate team, helping our sellers sell faster for more money, maximizing the exposure. We've got water frontage, 10 acres on the water available here. This is a really cool listing. Rudder Way, Newport Richey. So this could be a perfect investment. This is a great opportunity. 10 acres of vacant land, residential, your R12 zoning. Now, that's going to allow you for prime waterfront development. Now, this could be an estate-style home, large home, built right in a great area, Newport Richey as well. I'm closing on $1 million listing here tomorrow morning, actually. We're closing on $1 million listing in Gulf Harbors, where I'm the listing agent. But this is a great land, opportunity to buy and build, develop, buy some dirt, build and develop waterfront right here in Tampa Bay on Rudder Way, Newport Richey, Florida. 719 7th Street North, St. Pete. I love this property as well. This is right in St. Petersburg, Pinellas County, close to downtown, close to the beaches. You are on the brick paved street, so you have that ambiance there of having the brick 1,300 square foot single family home right here with lots of updates, lots of upgrades, and stainless steel appliances, beautiful granite countertop finishes as well, close to the downtown Looper Trolley. 719 7th Street North, St. Petersburg, Florida. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right. So, George, back to the conversation. When you look at the local economy here in Tampa Bay and just the events and the venue you have there, there's not many that are, in that same category, man. I just love the waterfront dining. And I think there's something special, too, also to being on freshwater versus saltwater.
That's true. That's true. I think we get a ton of locals, which is great, and that's really what we wanted to do. It's also a casual restaurant, so even though the food is upscale, the feeling is somewhat casual. Everybody's friendly. It's really kind of cool. We have 2 bars in the restaurant, and we actually have this one outside bar, which we call the Hemingway, and literally that's where we have all of our events, and it holds up to about 50 people over there.
Cool
so it's
spot.
kind of cool spot, great views, you know, really nice.
Lots of live music going on as well, certain days of the week. You got live music.
Yeah, we do live music on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays right now. During the season, we'll probably increase that to about 5 days a week.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Now, you're an entrepreneur. I had the opportunity to meet you and your wife, and you seem like a power couple. What a great couple there.
Thank you. Yeah, she's awesome.
Talk us a little bit about your entrepreneurship journey and I think your recent move from California, right?
Exactly. So we both grew up in Ontario, Canada, believe it or not, and we happened to meet in in California, in San Diego, and we hit it off, and we've been there about close to 30 years, each of us, independently with our prior relationships. And she said to me one day, I think I'm done with California. Wow. Where would you like to go? She goes, I think I want to live in Florida.
Wow.
Great. Okay, so we came out here. We flew around. We took a look at a bunch of communities, spent a month in Miami, we stayed near Orlando. We were in Clearwater and so on and so forth. And the only caveat to moving here, I told her, is I have to have something to do.
There you go.
So we ended up finding a great location in Tarpon Springs, the Tarpon Turtle. Yeah. And then we basically set up shop there, and then we said we're going to live here.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so great community.
You took it as strategic. You're like, hey, wait, Miami, what you thought is probably a little hustle bustle, too much.
It's a little too much like California. Traffic was crazy.
Yeah.
We just, it wasn't our vibe.
Right.
We came up here on the West Coast, and literally we said, wow, this is nice. It's a little more laid back. People are a lot friendlier, it seemed. Yeah. And I think that has to do with the bustle and hustle. And then we just said, you know what? We feel comfortable here. Let's set up stakes here.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And when you look at just the overall economy now in Tampa Bay as well, and I like to think about supply chain, labor, in terms of that from a business perspective. What's your thoughts in general there?
Yeah, agreed. It's and I've always been looking at that stuff, and it's difficult because our West Coast population, if you will, is a little bit more seasoned, I want to say. Yep. They've been through the trials and tribulations of raising kids, doing this, doing that, and now they're a little more relaxed. They're a lot more conservative, which we like. And the fact of the matter is that they call this home.
Yeah.
And now we thought to ourselves, this is a stable place, stable economy, stable people, and it just makes you feel better when you're in a stable community.
Right. Yeah, especially when you have a governor like DeSantis too, doing a lot of the things that are business friendly, friendly on the some of the relaxed as compared to the other parts in the country, especially with some of the lockdowns and things like that.
Oh, definitely. But even go beyond that. That's another reason why we wanted to get out of California. I mean, the rules and regulations are against the entrepreneur.
Right.
You literally are working for the government.
Right.
You're there to just pay taxes and taxes and taxes,
and
you have no idea where your money's going because it's definitely not showing up. In the public welfare, if you will.
Right.
So I was tired of that. I did that for almost 30 years, paid a ton in California. I had a big chain of restaurants over there. So we were very successful, but it was just time. Stage of life.
Yeah, I can imagine. If you just joined us, we're talking with the owner of the Tarpon Turtle, George, in studio with us, and we're talking about the entrepreneurship journey, and then also, of course, the great restaurant there, the Tarpon Turtle. But just yesterday, I went and saw the movie Reagan.
Oh, we saw it too.
I put that one on my, hey, I got to watch this. I love a lot of the stuff that comes out as well from what's that studio we
Angel
like?
Studios.
Angel Studios, Alex. Thank you. And Angel Studios with The Chosen and some of their work they've done as well with the couple of movies they put out. But yeah, that was a great movie, and it had a lot of clips from California in there. And I just thought in that 70s and 80s, California just must have been a great place to be.
It was the Golden State.
Yeah.
It really was. I think when I got there, it was in the 80s, and it was wonderful. Reagan was there, and it just seemed everything was just beautiful, business opportunities everywhere. So like I said, it was golden.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's golden anymore.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely changed. And you hear a lot of the different laws and the different things that they're doing to change and removing parents' rights from the schools. I mean, you can go on, the list is just growing. And unfortunately, it's turned a really attractive state into a state that people are fleeing. I mean, we've done shows. Of course, we're a talk show about more than real estate, but of course, we cover a lot of real estate on the show. But you couldn't get an RV or not an RV, a U-Haul coming out of California. They're all gone. They're all sitting in Texas or Idaho or Florida or Tennessee.
Sure. And people don't realize, but you talk about the economy in general, but but migration is a major mover, if you will, when it comes to economy.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of money fleeing California, that's for sure.
Yeah, major indicator. If you look at that and you kind of see, some of these different reports, you look at where people move to, where they go, you see the want to have the ability to choose, the ability not to be mandated to put something in your body that you may not necessarily agree with. So I think, it's interesting, definitely, to look at those trends. But then also what really struck me is just the skill set that Reagan had, the passion that he had, and the follow through that he had of taking communism on head on.
Yeah, and we saw the movie actually the other day ourselves, and we loved it. And he's one of my heroes. Yeah. I mean, the guy was just, I remember one of his lines. He goes, "What was it when he met his wife, the second wife? He basically had said, 'I'm damaged goods.'" I thought that was hilarious because he was basically through the ringer. He was just coming out of it, trials and tribulations of being an adult. Yeah, and then all of a sudden he's realizing, you know what? I have a second chance here.
That's right.
A second chance to make myself happy. Yeah, and he did.
That's
which
right.
is brilliant.
Yeah, and I think it does play into the vision that the good book lays out there, right? Mm-hmm. I'm married, you're married. When you have that, especially in business together, right? When you have that rock of Jesus, but also the wife or the spouse to work with. Yeah. I think that gives you the 1 + 1 equaling 13 or 1,000, right?
It's 1 + 1 = 11.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. That's true. That's good.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. And you're getting that synergy, and you're getting that, everything that comes with it. And I think that played out in the movie too.
Yeah, and that's exactly it too. And if you go back to another movie that I really enjoyed, The Founder with Michael Keaton.
That was a good one.
Yeah, where you play Ray Kroc. Same thing happened. Yeah. He eventually got the support he wanted in his second marriage, and the 1 + 1 made him the billionaire.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah, and he became an icon, an American icon, obviously. Right?
Yeah. Really cool. Awesome stuff. All right, let's take a quick break there. And when we come back, we're going to jump into more with Tarpon Turtle owner George, as well as our feel-good story of the day. Feel-good story of the day is after police didn't take him seriously, he exposed an international bike theft ring on his own. So feel-good story coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 at CQB Show. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll be right back.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. My wife and I shifted a lot of our buying habits, and we wanted to support companies that support our values, patriotic, Christian, conservative companies. And you can find that online at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. Now, what you're doing is you're not spending any new money. You're simply buying a lot of the common purchases that you're buying every month for the kitchen, the bathroom, your shampoos, your laundry detergent, all types of great essential oils, vitamins, herbs, those types of products. And for you beef lovers, we have great beef products as well. Tenderloin, sirloin steaks, grass-fed beef available as well. So check out AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. And I'd love to talk to you if you have any questions about it. There's also business opportunity there for you as well. 813-917-1894. And thank you so much for supporting our company, AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. By simply shifting some of your buying habits, you're going to help support like-minded people, like-minded companies, and that can support you as well.
Lindsay Rhymes here. My husband Brandon and I own the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams, and our team of seasoned agents is ready to help you buy, sell, invest, and love the life you live here in Tampa Bay. Communication, execution, customer service, and bulletproofing transactions are really where our team shines. We service Hillsborough, Pinellas, Manatee, Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus counties, and we have seasoned agents in residential, luxury land, and commercial divisions. Reach out to us, your Christian realtors, and let us help empower you with the right knowledge to make smart decisions with your next transaction. Call us at 727-263-3707 today. Again, that number is 727-263-3707.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. You can reach me at 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, we're back here in studio and talking about Tarpon Turtle. We got our feel-good story of the day coming up here in just a minute. Want to tell you about a property that we've got listed right here in Tampa Bay. We got a great opportunity to buy real estate here on Croft Drive. This one's 13651 Croft Drive North in Largo. We got a lot of properties in St. Petersburg area, Largo, by the way. This one's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage, 1,066 square foot, single family home, and you are in beautiful Indian Rocks Beach. This one's been renovated. I love the color scheme here. They did a great job on the interior, keeping it a little bit lighter, but also still having some variation. Beautiful countertops, and it's a versatile home that makes it ideal for a short-term rental property. And you can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75. Tell me something good.
All right, every day we'd like to tell you something positive in our Feel Good segment. So after police didn't take him serious, he exposed an international bike theft ring on his own. So this one is when police ignored this gentleman, his warnings. Brian Hance, he's an avid cyclist. He took it upon himself to expose a major international bike theft ring. Amid the chaos of 2020, Hance noticed a surge in high-end bike thefts across California. Using his website Bike Index and social media, he traced the stolen bikes to Mexico. Despite gathering extensive evidence, local police were initially unresponsive. Undeterred, Hance compiled detailed dossier and eventually help lead to the indictment of several criminals involved in the scheme. However, the network continues. So there you go. That's a citizen taking it on himself to say, hey, look, we got to stop some of this crime. So good stuff there. So we're talking with George Katakalidis on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I know I said that wrong, George. Katakalidis. All right, Tarpon Turtle. When you think about ownership in a restaurant, having a sports background, I know it's helped me in my career in real estate and being self-employed. Tell us a little bit about your background as an athlete.
Well, I grew up in Canada, like I told you, and I played for the Canadian national youth team and the Olympic team back in 1980, and that was an incredible experience, and that led me to turn pro in the United States. Played in New York, and then San Jose with the Earthquakes, and then San Diego with an indoor team called the Sockers. And we played out here in Tampa a couple of times with the Rowdies.
Yeah.
That was a fun experience.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you take some of those lessons from the sports career, into your business life, right?
It's team.
That's right.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. I love it, man.
Yeah.
So you got a new menu coming out at Tarpon Turtle. Tell us about it.
Well, it's fantastic. We've since we took over about a year ago, we've changed the menu 3 different times. So, basically, what works we keep on there. What doesn't work comes off. And I'm a very firm believer in making sure we keep things on there that people want, and people vote with their dollars. Yeah. Right. So we identify what doesn't work, and we improve. And being an athlete, like yourself, you want to be healthy. You want to eat well. You want to eat fresh. You want to eat good things, and that's what we're bringing to the new menu.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that, man. I go in there. I love the grouper. We're actually there just over the weekend. It was it was Sunday. We went. Yeah, it was great. It was good. Brady likes the rice and beans. He gets excited, gets some rice and beans.
Yeah. Well, I just had for lunch today, I had one of our bowls, which I never tried before, the Bermuda chicken bowl. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I've never, because, people discount chicken because it's chicken. Everybody did. But it was just delicious. Yeah. And I thought to myself, wow, this is going to be a keeper.
That's right.
Yeah,
man. You get the right seasoning on there, and the herbs and all that good stuff, the good spices there. So tell us a little bit about the social media, because I know you're doing some cool things on social. You got events coming up.
Exactly. Well, we're a great party place. Let's put it that way. I mean, when people have birthdays, when they want to celebrate retirement parties, team events, anything that you want to celebrate, we're the celebration place. We have the location for it. We literally have 2 bars, so if people want to just hang out in the bars, we can. If they want, we don't have private rooms, but we can create private sections.
Right.
And that's what's really nice. We most recently had 2 bars, legal bars, attorneys.
Okay, yeah.
They came and they held their event at our place. It was over 50 people, buffet style, and it was just fabulous. They had a great time, and we had a great time, and taking care of them.
That's awesome. And also during the holiday season, the kids can see Santa there too.
Yes, they can indeed, and that's what we do. Is so Christmas is always special.
Yeah,
it's a place where families gather and come together.
Great place to be. Tarpon Turtle on Lake Tarpon, one of the largest lakes in all of Central Florida, by the way. People don't realize, 2,500 acre lake right here in our backyard. Palm Harbor, Tarpon Springs, tarponturtle.com. Check them out online. And George, thanks for coming in.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
And save the date, Friday, September 27th. We're going to be there. The Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, 6 o'clock. We're going to be there. So, hey, another great show. We had attorney Millie Athanason on the front end. Of course, we had George on as well, Tarpon Turtle owner here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind to one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes.